When I moved from Tennessee to Bratislava, which is the capital of Slovakia, it brought all sorts of emotions. I remember one of the first nights here, I was riding on a tram at night, and I was just watching the scenery go by from outside the window. So I pulled out my journal and I wrote some poetry, which begins, "My hands tremble to write on a tram that jostles in a night blue veil of winter's eyes." Then at the end of the poem it says, "When the bird of prey alights on my crooked window, I see again, I feel again, weeping relief." So it's this ebb and flow of emotions that I think is apparent on this upcoming album, which I've titled Things We Thought to Think. Of all the songs, there's one called Josephine's Secret, which was the most fun to write. It's about a woman named Josefina Brunswick. She was the recipient of at least 15 of Beethoven's love letters where he says that he is eternally devoted to her. In one letter, he calls her, "My angel, my everything, my very self." Josefina was born here in Bratislava, so I was able to research her life by going to some of the places where she and Beethoven spent time together. Josefina was one of Beethoven's piano students, and there was a mutual affection between them, but her family didn't approve of Beethoven because he was considered a commoner. So as I researched the story, I found out that Beethoven likely composed Moonlight Sonata here in Slovakia when he was staying in a garden house of a large manor house located in a village named Dolna Krupa. So I traveled there and to other places, for example, some sites in Vienna where Beethoven, which is the city he spent over 35 years in. A good portion of the lyrics are based on Beethoven's letters and known facts from his life. And then for the music video to a song called Energy of Stars, I met up with some close friends who live in the Czech Republic, and we filmed this video in the beautiful town of Mikulov in southern Moravia. The final song on the album is called Thinking Too Much, and it's about the hypothetical first moment that I made eye contact with my wife. In 1999, I was here in Slovakia living in a town called Trnava, which is a medieval-style city, and my wife was actually in the same city at the same time, but we didn't meet until a few years later in Tennessee. All but a few of the songs on the album began as bits and pieces. I often start with a short arrangement and then build on it, so I typically compose during the recording and production process. Anticipation is an instrumental inspired by a heavy rainstorm in the Austrian Alps that lasted 4 days. We were there during the rainstorm, and I had a portable handheld recorder with me, so I was able to capture the sound of the rain by the rivers and lakes. Someday Love, the first track on the album, is an older song that I wrote in 2019 while living in the Czech Republic. This is a song that fell into place quickly, musically and lyrically, so I'm very satisfied with the chord progression, and I'm excited to finally release it to the public.